Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII is a game that seems tired by its own existence. Final Fantasy XIII only launched in 2010, but development started way back in 2004. Square Enix has been working on Final Fantasy XIII games for a decade now. Despite lukewarm reception for Final Fantasy XIII and Final Fantasy XIII-2, Square is determined to create a grand finale. And so we have Lightning Returns, a game where all the lead characters have already given up by the beginning. And honestly, I can't blame them. This isn't some dramatic, triumphant conclusion. It's a slow limp to the finish line. Lightning Returns takes place in a world that only has a couple of weeks left to live. Lightning, the badass heroine from Final Fantasy XIII, is called upon by God to become a savior. She has to help residents of this doomed world and save their souls. I loved the idea of playing an RPG where, instead of fighting a world-ending threat, the world is going to end, no matter what I do. But Lightning Returns gets too caught up in the specifics behind that. It's obsessed with metaphysical nonsense, like what souls are made out of, or how gods function. These boring, meticulously explained details distract from the best element of Lightning Returns: its insane characters. Lightning is this quiet, stoic figure, so she ends up playing the straight man to a lot of weirdos. The character sketches can be very funny, but the game forgets them too often, focusing on a much less interesting bigger picture. Even the most curious characters lead to pretty bland quests. Almost every quest in Lightning Returns boils down to a bunch of running back and forth. Go here, collect this item, walk back, talk to the quest giver, rinse, repeat. And it doesn't help that each of the game's 4 areas is massive. You have the power to teleport to locations, but it's limited based on how much power you have. So when my power was low, I ended up having to walk 20 minutes or more on foot. Between the long travel time and the boring objectives, I was tempted to give up on side quests. But they end up being necessary for one simple reason. Lightning Returns is incredibly challenging. Instead of a traditional RPG leveling system, Lightning gains stat boosts by completing quests. The problem is that the difficulty curve isn't smooth at all. Every battle is either so simple that I didn't even need to look at the screen, or so challenging that I needed to perfectly block every attack to survive. I really wanted to like Lightning Returns' combat system despite these frustrations. Lightning changes outfits in order to change her abilities, and hey, most of the outfits even look pretty cool. There's a lot of depth and flexibility to this system. It lets you build up individual spells and turn Lightning into a powerhouse. But with the fights so inconsistent in their challenge, I just didn't get pulled in enough to dig for that hidden depth. I have devoted a lot of time over the past few years to Final Fantasy XIII's world and characters, but Lightning Returns isn't a great send-off. Between its less balanced battle system, its wasted characters, and its giant but empty world, this is the weakest of 3 games by far. I've been ready for Square Enix to move on to something new for a while now. It's just a shame that it took them 4 years to finally feel the same.